2 a.m. and the town of Tyler, Texas is quiet. A single set of headlights creeps down 29th Street towards a frame house set back among the trees. A shadow slips through a door and down a hallway towards a back bedroom. Inside, an 8-year-old boy named Chad Choice sleeps. He never makes a sound as the intruder gathers up the boy and carries him into the night. The mother of 4 allows her children to sleep in and heads off to church. Just minutes into the service, Karen gets a call from home. It was my daughter, and she asked me if Chad was with me. And I said, no, I left him at home. And she said, well, we've looked everywhere and we can't find him. Within the hour, Karen, family, and friends are walking the neighborhood, looking for Chad, hoping the boy is just playing the game of hide and seek. We were just looking up to see if he was just playing a joke on us, and we were walking around the house, looking up in the trees to see if he was there. But all in the same time, there was just something that I just had this feeling something was wrong. Karen Choice puts a call in to police. Sergeant Bill Gecking responds. The first thing he notices, no pry marks on the door, and no sign of a struggle inside the house. We didn't see anything like a forced entry, any blood trails, any signs of ransacking, things that would be indicative of a crime scene. Gecking floats the idea that Chad might be a runaway. Chad's mother doesn't buy it. Karen Choice believes her son has been kidnapped. As Sunday afternoon deepens into Sunday evening, that feeling becomes a certainty, and a mother wonders if she will ever see her son alive again. Devastation, fear starts to set in, and you're wondering what is going on, who is he with? Because I knew it's dark now, and he's ready to come home. Kind of a rule of thumb, and it's not like this in every case, but if you're not on the road towards resolving something in 48 hours, it's going to be difficult to resolve. 48 hours have already slipped by, then a week and a month. 6 months later, Chad Choice's disappearance slips into the cold files, and his mother continues to wait. By the fall of 1995, Karen's son Chad has been gone for 4 years. One fall morning, a grocery sack is left on the doorstep of the Choice home. Inside it, a human skull, and the moment Karen Choice has been dreading. I didn't want to believe it. There was this part of me that was saying, this may be, but I'm saying no. No, this is not Chad. Chad is still alive. Cold case detectives send samples of the skull to the FBI for DNA comparison with samples taken from Chad Choice's family. The results, however, are inconclusive. Investigators then turn to a university in Texas and the science of forensic anthropology. Working with different photos, Gilking determines that the skull left on the family doorstep belongs to Chad. In her heart, Karen Choice has known her boy was unlikely to ever be found alive. She never thought, however, that his skull would be delivered to her front door. Who could be this demonic to do something like this and then to place it on the family's doorstep? Who is this person? And I mean, I think that there was an anger that rose up in me that I had never felt before. I had to see who this person was. In April of 1996, Pat Horn sits in a Texas jail cell, looking at either life or a possible death sentence for his part in 2 bank robberies and the murder of fruit stand owner J.C. Lebesser. Horn decides he wants to cut a deal and mentions the name Chad Choice. Pat Horn lived in the same neighborhood as Chad Choice and knew the family. He claims the boy was killed by 2 local drug dealers, Colombian nationals who go by the street names Paco and Carlos. Pat Horn receives a package in his jail cell. Inside it, the leg bone of a young boy. The jailers intercept this package that was sent to Pat Horn And they find what appears to be a leg bone and also a note threatening him that if he gives any information about Chad Choice, that they'll kill him or kill his family. The leg bone is confirmed as human and eventually confirmed as belonging to Chad Choice. The question is, who sent it? Pat Horn claims it was Paco and Carlos. Cold case detectives suspect Horn knows more than he is telling. FBI agent Jim Wilkins. I think one thing that made us doubt Pat Horn was knowing just how much he was involved with these guys, because Pat had a reputation of exaggerating and trying to build up his own self-importance. He really opens the door wide as far as us looking at him as being involved in this, certainly more so than he tells us. Months after the leg bone is confirmed as belonging to Chad, Pat Horn still claims to know nothing more about the disappearance. According to Horn, Paco and Carlos are still the killers, but now Horn admits he actually saw the murder and knows where Chad is buried. Jeff Block is an agent with the FBI. Eventually he told us that he had helped, that he had dug a grave for Chad at the direction of Paco and Carlos. He tells us, he says, see, basically I'm a victim in this crime as well. All I did was help bury the child. I didn't have any other involvement in it. And now they're threatening me because of my knowledge of what they did. Horn claims Chad Choice is buried in Horn's own backyard. Investigators put the convict in cuffs and drive into the heart of Tyler's west side. At 4 p.m. on May 31st, detectives start to dig. Some of the agents and officers dug down. They hit a plastic bag and dug a little more and found bones, found clothing. The remains are that of a young boy, quickly identified as Chad Choice. Also in the grave, .380 caliber shell casings, probably the shots that killed Chad. Investigators believe Pat Horn is Chad's killer. Ethan Horn is Pat Horn's younger brother. In June of 1996, he sits in a jail cell in Athens, Texas, booked on a probation violation. While he's in there, cold case detectives take a chance. Keithan tells detectives he dug up Chad Choice's bones, prepared a threatening note, and sent the package to Pat Horn's jail cell, all at his older brother's direction. He admitted to digging up the bones, or the leg bone, and mailing to Pat in jail, and at his direction, preparing the note to make it look like a threat from Paco and Carlos. Pat Horn's elaborate scheme finally collapses under its own weight, leaving him as the man who took Chad Choice from his home, killed him, and finally used the boy's bones to try and lead cold case detectives astray. As for why Pat Horn chose to kill Chad Choice, detectives can only offer Horn's need to be bigger than life itself. Well, as I said, Pat's ambition was to be a gangster, to be a crook, and Pat is one of those people that I believe that if he's not recognized by someone else, he's going to make sure that someone recognizes what he did. I mean, it's a sixth sense of what he did. On September 24th, 1999, a jury agrees with detectives and finds Pat Horn guilty. He is sentenced to die in Texas lethal injection chamber.